Zach with the Quest for Greatness, and these are 10 things that take 0% talent and will get you 100% results. Welcome to the channel. If you're not familiar with us, we are simply a quest for greatness about finding what it means to have a relationship with God by exploring truth, looking at practical, everyday, livable Christianity, and also dispelling myths about Christianity. So check it out. All right, so look, it's a list that I borrowed about 10 things that take 0% talent will get you 100% respect. So we just been in this a little bit for spirituality's sake. And the first one is to be on time, not for church. That's not what we're talking about. Making the best use of time. This currency, this is probably the most valuable and most important. Paying attention to minutes, to moments, to hours, to days, and making the best use. Why? Because Romans 13:11 says it's high time that you and me awake out of sleep. In Ephesians chapter 5 and verses 15 and 16, in Colossians chapter 4, 5 and 6, it tells us to redeem the time. Watch how you walk and make the best use of the time. The second one is work ethic. All right, looking at Romans chapter 6, verses 17 and 18. But thanks be to God that you who were once slaves of sin have become obedient from the heart to the standard of teaching to which you were committed, and having been set free from sin, you have become slaves of righteousness. You and I have got to get it through our heads that this is not our time. Our time is in heaven. So give everything you possibly can in your work ethic to God. The third one is effort. All right, another one verse. 2 Peter chapter 1 in verses 5 through 11. All right, so effort. For this very reason, make every effort to do the following things. Supplement your faith with virtue, virtue with knowledge, knowledge with self-control, self-control with steadfastness, steadfastness with godliness, godliness with brotherly affection, and brotherly affection with love. If these qualities are yours and are increasing, if you're giving effort to keep stacking one on top of the other, growing, becoming better for the Lord, for His sake and for His glory, then you are going to keep from failing, keep from falling here. If these qualities are yours and are increasing, they keep you from being ineffective or unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. And whoever lacks these qualities is so nearsighted that he's blind. So that's number 3, effort. The fourth one is body language. Now, how does that fit into Christianity? Well, it says everything. If you have somebody that comes to work and their body language is poor, or if you pull up the drive-thru and somebody, it just has a terrible body language, you know they don't want to be there, they don't want to serve you, they don't want to help you. Well, what do you think about a Christian with bad body language? And every time you see them, they give off this vibe of how tiresome, how wearisome this is. That's Malachi chapter 1 and verse 13. These people who were just showing up at the temple to give their leftovers, and they'd rather be doing anything else. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 3 and 4. Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. If everybody sees me dragging, or if I'm doing these videos and they're more like this, and I'm sort of tired and let's get done with it, you're gonna know that I have no interest in this whatsoever. Body language makes a difference. Then number 5 is energy. Energy, it's kind of related to body language, right? A couple of verses for this one. Romans chapter 12 and verse 11. Do not be slothful in zeal. Be active. Don't be like those sloths at the DMV on Zootopia, but be actively interested. Have that energy. In Titus chapter 2 and verse 14, he says that he has bought us for his possession, redeemed us to purify for himself a people for his own possession who are zealous for just doing good works. That's number 5, is make sure your energy is there, that you exude this passion I'll talk about later on. But next, number 6 is attitude. Attitude is everything. Philippians chapter 4 and verse 4, he gives you my attitude, the prescription for life. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. Let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect, complete, lacking in nothing. So attitude and joy at all times, even the bad times, because you know those have a purpose as well. It's all attitude. Abraham Lincoln, they say, once said that people are about as happy as they decide to be. Well, your attitude is determined by your thoughts and your decisions. So number 7 is passion. Passion. Now, it sounds like a little different. Let me give it to you here. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verses 14 and 15. Passion may sound a little repetitive, For the love of Christ controls us, because we have concluded this, that one has died for all. Therefore all have died. He died for all, that those who live might no longer live for themselves, but for him who for their sake died and was raised. 1 Peter chapter 4, 1 Timothy chapter 6, they are to do good, to be rich in good works, to be generous, ready to share, thus storing up treasure for themselves as a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of that which is truly life. You have to be passionate about this. What I mean is, if I'm gonna work in jewelry, I need to be passionate about that. I need to be passionate about what I'm doing, be interested, invested. If not, do something else. Same thing with Christianity. You have to appreciate that this is the best way to live and have that passion for just doing what's right all the time. Number 8 is being coachable. This is where so many people mess up because we don't like to be wrong. Being coachable means you can be trained. You can allow yourself to be wrong, and you can let the Bible be the authority, and you'll bend and mold to whatever the Lord wants. Ephesians chapter 4, 15 and 16. Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into him who is the head, Christ, into Christ, from whom the whole body, joined and held together by every joint with which it is equipped, when each part is working properly, makes the body grow so that it builds itself up in love. I have to train myself, and I've got to allow myself to be trained as well. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2, like newborn infants long for the pure spiritual milk, that by it you may grow up into salvation. If I'm going to grow in grace, if I'm going to learn, if I'm going to practice, I have to be coachable. I have to be willing to be molded by the potter that is God, and I am the clay. Number 9 is doing extra, going above and beyond. One of my favorite verses, 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, immovable, here it is, always abounding, the overflow, going above and beyond what's called for, always doing more than what you think is necessary, not trying to just get by, doing extra, going as far as we possibly can, exhausting ourselves, giving everything we possibly can. And finally, number 10 is being prepared. All a part of Christianity in every aspect. Being prepared, 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 11 through 14, says all these things are thus to be dissolved. What he was just talking about was that how judgment is going to happen, everything is going to come to an end. And since we see those things, since everything is to be melted here, what sort of people ought you to be in lives of holiness and godliness, waiting for and hastening the coming of the day of God, because of which the heavens will be set on fire and dissolved. The heavenly bodies will melt as they burn. But according to his promise, we are waiting for new heavens and the new earth in which righteousness dwells. Therefore, beloved, since you are waiting for these, be diligent to be found by him without spot or blemish and at peace. I don't need to know, and you don't need to know when Jesus is coming back. Always be prepared at every moment, because actually we're looking forward to death. We're looking forward to the judgment. And this verse talks about hastening it, wanting it to come faster. All right, question of the video. Thank you for all the people who have been commenting. We want more people to comment and actually answer these questions. It's not just something we throw in. So the simple question for this is, did you like this list? Does this list help you out? Are there things you would take out? Are there things you would add to this list that take 0 talent and get 100% results? All right, so that's 10 things. Let me go back over these one more time. 10 things that take 0 talent, meaning anybody can do them, and will get 100% results. One more time. Number 1, be on time, or in our case, make the best use of the time. Number 2 is the work ethic. Number 3 is your effort. 4 is your body language. 5 is your energy. 6, your attitude. 7, the passion. 8, being coachable. 9, doing extra. Number 10, being prepared. I want to thank you for being a part of this video. I really hope that this has helped you. Write these down, use them, because in every phase of life, these tips can help you like they've helped me. Look, if you haven't already, there it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit like below if you like this video, share it with other people, and even better, comment. Let us know you liked it or what you didn't like about it, or other topics or anything that gets you involved in this channel as well. Thank you. I'll see you soon.